Welcome to Sport Wrap with me, Ashwin Betty, as we take you through the latest sport news. It has been a crazy week, hasn't it? UEFA Champions League, 7 goals in just one sitting. Europa continues tonight. Will Arsenal be able to do it against Sporting? Will Ten Hag have a little more to say about his own team than other teams? We'll find all of that out. Of course, we'll be keeping you in touch with the news and the results as they come through tomorrow. But as far as today goes, we're going to have none other than renowned boxer Jeremiah Nakathila here to speak about his journey as we approach independence. Prior to all of that, we go to the hit list. The Tafel Lager Brave Warriors coach Collin Benjamin has announced his 25-man squad for the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers clash against Cameroon next week. The team will depart to South Africa on Sunday, 18 March 2023, where they will be joined by the foreign-based players. They will play Cameroon in the first leg on the 24th of March and play the return leg on the 28th of March in Johannesburg at the Dobonsville Stadium. The full squad is Lloyd Kadapwa, Edward Maova, Kamayinja Ndisiro, Ryan Nyambe, Ivan Kamberipa, Kennedy Amutenya, Charles Hambira, Rian Hanamub, Ananias Herbert, Denzel Hoaseb, Brandon Nebeb, Dynamo Fredericks, Devin Somseb, Ngero Katua, Marcel Papama, Prince Shiwetha, Edma Kamatuka, Absalom Imboji, Jocelyn Kamatuka, Dion Hoto, ooh, we like that name, Wendell Rudath, Petrus Jr., Peter Shadu Lile, Petio Mizo, and Elmo Kambindu. Certainly an exciting squad, Shalulile. If he can continue the form from South Africa, would love that. Now, federations and bodies that fail to submit their categorization documents in time are likely to lose their places as categorized sport codes. The classification process, which began on the 7th of February, has seen the Namibia Sports Commission request information from federations that could help the commission rate the standards of federations and different sport codes. There are 56 registered sport codes in the country, and 76% of them have already submitted all the required paperwork. The NSC Chief Administrator Freddie Muya lauded those who have submitted the forms, but said others have failed to do so. There is no way you can expect to stay where you are if you do not meet the requirements, Muya warned. We will now visit the marketplace before Zoom In returns with the one and only Jeremiah Nakathila.
Let's find out why Andalex is SA's #1 brand for sore throat and mouth.
When I have a painful sore throat, I use Andalex Sea Spray. I use it regularly for painful conditions of the mouth and throat caused by viral and bacterial infections.
I use Andalex C antibacterial mouthwash every second day. It protects my mouth against infections caused by viruses and bacteria, as well as gum disease.
For a sore mouth and throat, just Andalex it.
Now, Namibia is approaching Independence Day, and if there's a sporting figure that has inspired many, polarized some, is Jeremiah Nakathila, a legend in his own right. Some people call him the prodigal son. Let's have a look at what he had to say.
Jeremiah Nakathila, aka Loki, you have been here on the show on several occasions, speaking about maybe current mood, fights and all that, but one thing that we have not done yet, and one thing that I'm sure the general public would like to hear from the horse's mouth, is who Jeremiah Nakathila is personally, where he comes from, where he was born, where he attended school and all. Although articles has been done about that, we haven't heard from Nakathila himself speaking, actually telling us just about his past. Can you, we are actually entering, that is 33 years of independence, and we regard you as one of those sports stars, inspirational sports stars that has done a lot in terms of boxing for this country. But first, can you just tell us about who Jeremiah Nakathila is, where Jeremiah Nakathila was born?
Yeah, no, thank you, Jesse, for this time around. I myself, Jeremiah Nakathila, all the way from Eunda village in Umsati region. That's where I grew up, that's where I was born. I attended my school at Eunda and later at Ombome Combined School. Yeah, I've been there my whole life. I'm a village guy.
Herding goats
just a
and
village
all.
boy, yeah. And most
cattle.
of my lifestyle, I spent it, I was at the cattle post. That's where I spent most of my time, like especially from when I was grade 2 until when I was in grade 10. Luckily, I passed grade 10. I think I would be more looking after cattle, especially that my father had a lot of cattle by then.
So that was in the early 90s.
That was in the early 90s, from 96 or 95, 94 there, when I started grade 1.
So you attended these schools. Back in those schools, especially in the north, was sport a popular thing?
Yeah, the only sport which was there, it was soccer and athletic. So, but I took part and I was take part at the athlete, like on a distance. I was a distance runner at that time. I tried to also soccer. I was a tough defender. Yeah, soccer was a tough defender there, and yeah, those were sport code that were just
that were popular.
Yes.
So boxing was just probably not a sport, but just when somebody
yeah
touches your things back then.
Yes, boxing was never part of the sport back at the village, and the only time, as our culture, there are times whereby you wrestle with each other and stuff. We like doing it sometimes for fun, sometimes when we are serious, but I always win, those type of games.
Oh, so that's where you realize that maybe I have some more potential than just kicking a ball, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so but where did your interest for sport grow?
Yeah, so I just started realizing I was kind of, I like kind of relate to fights. I like, even if maybe we had a water hole, sometimes I just try to challenge my guys, my age mate. Hey, let's box. But I never really saw somebody fighting. Or that time I didn't even hear about any boxer, but just in me, I just feel like, oh, I think let's I just try to wrestle with them. But my dream for boxing came to light when I was in grade 11 at Nyoma Secondary School. That's where I started hearing about boxing, about Hitman, Harry Simon, and although I didn't really see their pictures or see them on TV, I started hearing about
just heard the
Harry
names.
Simon. Yeah, I just heard the name Harry Simon. There's a boxer Harry Simon. There's a boxer Hitman. Those Tyson Oshona. Then it's when at school I start feel like, can we have boxing at school? And I managed to have boxing in Nyoma. I think that was the only time boxing was there. So I create that platform that we should have boxing, not just soccer. Some of us we don't want to do soccer, but we want to do boxing.
Wow.
So that's how I come up. Even after school study in the evening, I go, in the dining in the living room there. You try, just say, hey, come here, I want to box. I don't know, I didn't really know what I was doing,
but it was actually
later I understand when I came to Windhoek.
So you were there, stayed there in the north, and then came to the capital city. I'm sure you landed here the first time. Everyone is always surprised, wow, such a big city and all that. But you came, what made you actually start boxing here in Windhoek, and how did you manage that?
Yeah, when I came to Windhoek, I didn't really take time. I just asked, where is a boxing gym? That's what I asked my brothers. So, and I asked, no,
you had siblings here?
Yeah, I had siblings here. My brothers were here already.
Okay.
So I asked them. However, they didn't take me there. I just have to go myself and look for where is the gym, asking where is the boxing gym, where do people train, until I get to Soweto Boxing Club. Now it's Salute, but it was Soweto Boxing Club, where Tobias Nasilongo and Elifas Namjebo, they trained. Those were my first coach there a Salute Boxing. Currently, it's Salute Boxing Gym. That's where I started boxing, real boxing.
Yes.
However, when I started, you know, I found guys already that they've been there. But
Sparring
when
and
I
all
start,
that.
you know, I was beating them. And,
You were beating
that's
them.
the coach, my coach, Tobias Naslongo, you are so interested. Like, this guy just started now, but the guy is beating. That's why even when I started, there was a time, you know, they called me No Respect. When that name came from Tobias Naslongo, I said, no, this guy has no respect. The big guys, the guys that they've been there, some guys that were in the national team, I was defeating them.
Yes.
So
Loki, I'm coming. How did you get the approval of your parents to box? Because I'm sure any parent would be very concerned about his child getting into the ring and throwing punches. I mean, back then was it not difficult to convince the elders?
Yeah, it was tough because when I came to Windhoek, I came to school. I was schooling. And then I was doing Electrica at VTC. So now later they heard, because later I left school for
Just
boxing.
for boxing.
Yeah, I left school for boxing. And the parents were not really happy. My parents were like, no, boxing, where will boxing take you? You see?
Take you.
Yeah, parents, they don't really consider sport apart from school. They only look at the school, but they don't really consider sport. So.
Yes. You went on and became a global champion. You went on and became an African champion. You went on and moved up the weight now from lightweight, and you are a big guy now. We can also see, I think, the growth in terms of your boxing career and years. I think muscles growing and all that. Your next step right now, where to?
Yeah, so my next step now, I'm highly ranked in the world right now in terms of in the lightweight. That's a very competitive weight. You know, you talk about David Henny, talk about Giovante, you talk all the big Romacheko, all the names, those are the lightweight, and I'm in the top of the lightweight. I'm one of the top in the lightweight division. I'm highly ranked by the WBC, WBO, those are big organizations in the world. And I'm looking forward, you know, I put up a big victory there in Las Vegas, the last time I was
in the
there.
USA.
In the USA, and now I came back, I'm preparing hard for the next fight, which we are going to officially announce in a shorter time with my promoter, Nesta Tobias. Yeah, for me, I just to be in the gym and then be ready.
33 years, we're going into another birthday celebration for Namibia and sport. What do you think Namibia has achieved in the last 33 years, especially in terms of boxing?
No, we have achieved a lot, which whereby most of the African countries, they never achieved. Even those that got independence before Namibia, they never achieved. They never had a world champion, a boxer who is a world champion. But at least Namibia, we successful had produced 4 world champions. That's a big achievement for the country
and a lot of African champions.
Yeah, so it helps a lot. You know, when we got independence, it's where we have freedom. Back in the days, our boxers we were not really like having a license for sport like boxing. That's why most of our boxers they were going to South Africa. Like the Harry Simon, they were more in South Africa.
Nestas.
Yes, Nestas, they were just based on South Africa. We even have some pictures whereby they are under Springbok team. They are under Springbok team. So, but after independence, you know, everything now is smooth. We have access to everything. We have access to boxing, to sport, and we are producing world-class champions.
Any message as we go to number 33?
Yeah, you know, the message to the whole country, you know, let's just be positive and do positive stuff for our country. I know there's a lot of commotion, but and we should just remain peaceful and then follow, do what is right for us and what can benefit the community, the Namibian community, and yeah, everyone around, just to at least accommodate each other. 33 years of independence, those are a lot, and the government itself have done enough, also have done big changes to put the country at this level where it is now, school, hospital, all those things. So I'm proud to be a Namibian, and I'm proud for my government, what they have done.
Thank you so much, Loki. It has been a privilege having you here.
No, it's a pleasure.
That was the one and only Jeremiah Nakathila speaking for himself. Exciting times ahead indeed. Now 5 athletes from Namibia have been selected to take part in the 2023 Africa Triathlon Premier Junior Cup. We'll be getting into all of that in Spotify after this short break. Now, as I said, 5 athletes from Namibia have been selected to take part in the 2023 Triathlon Premium Junior Cup that will be hosted in Port Elizabeth, Nelson Mandela Bay on the 19th of March. Sport Wrap caught up with them. And after you check out that interview, Ari Hochart will come through with the international sport.
The Namibia Triathlon Federation are fortunate to send a group of 5 athletes to the Africa Junior Cup that will be hosted in Port Elizabeth, Nelson Mandela Bay on the 19th of March. This is part of our selection for the Youth Commonwealth Games that will be taking place in Trinidad and Tobago in August this year. The athletes that will be attending the triathlon in the representing the girls will be Chloe Rousseau and Maya Brinkman. Representing the boys will be Matt Rees-Isaac, Faree Steyn, and also Nathan Chase. We are very fortunate to have received funding from the Namibian National Olympic Committee to make this possible. We want to thank them. We are hopeful for these athletes. These athletes will also be racing in the Swakopmund Triathlon the weekend after in Swakopmund, and we invite everybody to come and support the event. Thank you. Right, the athletes were selected on the basis of their finishing positions in the Namibian National Junior Championship that was held earlier this year in Windhoek at the municipal pool in Olympia, and the top 2 boys from each, the top 2 boys and the top 2 girls from each category were selected, plus 1 development athlete.
Hi, I'm Maya Brinkman and I'm participating in the Nelson Mandela Bay Junior Africa Cup.
Hallo, ek is Faree Steyn. Ons gaan in die Nelson Mandela Africa Cup triathlon deelneem.
Hallo, my naam is Matt Rees-Isaac en ek gaan neem deel in die triathlon cup in Suid-Afrika in Mandela Bay.
Hi, I'm Chloe Rousseau. I'm participating in the Nelson Mandela Bay Junior Africa Cup for triathlon.
Hi, I'm Nathan Chase. I'll be racing in the 12 to 15 age group at the Nelson Mandela Bay Africa Cup on the weekend. So I normally swim 4 times a week, and then I ride 4 to 5 times a week and run 3 times a week. And 2 of those runs will come straight off the bike so you can simulate how you feel after a cycle.
So ek swem 3 keer 'n week en dan ry ek 2 keer 'n week fiets en dan my hardloop doen ek ook 2 keer 'n week, maar ek doen ook hokkie 2 keer 'n week. So ja.
Physically, I'm training my swimming 6 times a week. I'm cycling 2 to 3 times a week, running 2 to 3 times a week, keeping my fitness up, training the distances to make sure that I'm ready for this race. Mentally, I think it's quite a big challenge mentally, knowing that we're going there with little international experience and are racing such top athletes when we're there. Knowing that it's the champion that I'm going to be racing is quite intense, but I think it's a great experience and I'm looking forward to it.
Dis moeilik, ek kan nie jok nie. Baie mooi dae wat ek het en dan wat jy by die huis aankom en dan jy nog huiswerkie aande en dan moet jy die oggende vroeër opstaan om nog huiswerk doen en dan nog te leer vir toetsreekse. Dis hektiek, maar ek oorleef, ek sit hier, so is okay. Ek kom deur dit.
Dis soms 'n challenge, maar nie altyd nie. So soms daai vroegoggende as jy by die skool kom, moet jy maar soms jy huiswerk doen, maar ja.
It's quite difficult. It's a huge challenge. You don't get much time. You're always tired. You're struggling to get through the day. But I think it's helpful to have teachers who are understanding with your circumstances. And then sometimes at school, maybe just a lesson before, I'll quickly do my homework and juggle it all. I'm more making sure that I get enough sleep and that my training's right at the moment because school isn't that intense lately. It's more about the sport.
Ek probeer maar waar ek 'n tydjie kry, my huiswerk en probeer waar ek kan probeer om te leer en in die klas moet ek probeer ook om te luister wat die juffrou sê en ja.
I try and do as much as the work as I can at school. So I do my homework whenever I have free time in the lessons and studying either in the morning before the test or in the evening, just whenever you can fit time in. I think it's a really good team environment. We all know each other and we all share the same interests, so I think it's going to be really cool.
I really love them, so I really don't care like how I feel about them. So I feel like it's going to be a really fun, exciting trip to be with them all the way.
Goed, hulle almal is baie goeie atlete. Ja, hulle het ook almal baie hard gewerk, so ja, ek sien uit.
The whole trip down there with such an amazing team that I'm going with, great people, the race, that experience, going to Port Elizabeth, it's such an amazing city, and also the training camp where I get to train with other athletes and with the coaches, that's a big one for me because it's a great experience to meet new people, learn new things, and I think this whole trip is just going to be a wonderful learning experience.
Dis 'n baie goeie span. Ek is bly dis hierdie span wat saam afgaan en ja, ons gaan 'n baie lekker tyd daar hê in Port Elizabeth.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news and starting off with soccer news. It is Champions League action, UEFA Champions League action, and it is Real Madrid that confirmed that they will be the team to beat. They're the strong favourites to win again the Champions League. That's after beating Liverpool by 1-0, but the aggregate score after the first leg also included is 6-2. So Liverpool knocked out for the third consecutive year by Real Madrid in the Champions League. Damage was done at Anfield when Real Madrid beat Liverpool by 5-2 in the first leg. Another game that was played was Napoli that quite convincingly beat Frankfurt, and they beat them by 3-0. That is for an aggregate score of 5-0, and they're also going through to the quarterfinals like Real Madrid. Moving on to tennis news, it's Paribas, the BNP Paribas, the tournament that continues in California, also called the Indian Welsh Masters, and it is the women and men that play in this tournament. Firstly, on the women's side in the quarterfinal, it is Maria Sakkari, the 7th seed. She's through, beating Petra Kvitova by 4-6, 7-5 and 6-1. Also a good comfortable win for Aryna Sabalenka. She's the number 2 seed. She's through to the quarterfinals, and she beat Coco Gauff of the USA. She's the number 6 seed, and she beat her by 6-4 and 6-love. Iga Swiatek, the number 1 seed, is also still in the tournament. On the men's side of the draw, it was a good result for Yannick Sinner. He's number 11 seed. He had a tough game against Stan Wawrinka, a very experienced player from Switzerland. And it is Yannick Sinner that beat Wawrinka convincingly 6-1, 6-4. That was a bit of a surprise because Wawrinka beat Holger Rune, the number 7 seed, in the previous round. So it is Yannick Sinner through to the quarterfinals. Also through is Daniel Medvedev. He's the number 5 seed, but definitely the player that's on form. He's won his 18th consecutive game now of last tournaments, including the previous few tournaments he played in. He beat Alexandre Fokina of Spain by 6-3 and 7-5. So Daniel Medvedev also through to the quarterfinals.
So that's it for today's Sport Wrap Show. There's local sport on the weekend. Tonight, Real Betis, Manchester United, Sporting Lisbon, Arsenal, much to be excited about, and we'll make sure we give you everything packaged well on Sport Wrap tomorrow. From me, Ashwin Berry, stay active.